Beloved, there is a battlefield that most people never see with their eyes, yet it determines the course of their lives. It is not in the world around you, it is within you. The greatest battles are not fought on the outside, they are fought in the mind. Your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, they are the soldiers. But if you don't train them, they will rebel against your destiny. You must train your mind to be stronger than your emotions, because emotions are temporary, but decisions shape eternity. The greatest battlefield is not around you but within you. It is the space between what you feel and what you know, between what you desire and what you are destined to become. Every person alive is engaged in an invisible war, a war between the emotions that demand reaction and the mind that seeks direction. Your destiny is not shaped by what happens to you but by how you manage what happens inside you. You can conquer nations and still be defeated by your own thoughts if you do not learn to rule your mind. The mind is the command center of your life, it dictates your attitude, your choices, and your outcomes. If you allow your emotions to control that command center, you give temporary feelings the power to sabotage permanent purpose. You cannot build a stable life on unstable emotions. The one who governs their mind governs their future, because the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. Many people lose battles they should have won because they never learned where the real fight takes place. They think the enemy is outside, a person, a problem, or a circumstance, but the real opposition often hides inside, in the form of fear, insecurity, doubt, and emotional reactions. The greatest victories are not when you overcome the world but when you overcome yourself. Your emotions were never designed to lead, they were designed to respond. When you train your mind to take the lead, your emotions begin to follow in alignment. But when emotions lead, they take you places your purpose never intended to go. You start to make decisions out of pain instead of wisdom, out of frustration instead of clarity, out of fear instead of faith. To win the battle within, you must first recognize that emotions are not your enemies, they are signals. They reveal what is happening in your inner world, but they should never be given authority over your actions. Anger can alert you that something is unjust, but it should not dictate your behavior. Sadness can remind you of what matters, but it should not drown your hope. Anxiety can expose where your trust is lacking, but it should not paralyze your progress. The key is awareness and discipline, training your mind to interpret emotions without surrendering to them. A strong mind is not built in moments of comfort but in moments of conflict. Every emotional challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your mental foundation. When pressure rises, when you feel pulled by confusion, pause and remind yourself that the mind is the pilot, and emotions are the passengers. You cannot stop emotions from showing up, but you can decide how much space they occupy. When your thoughts are grounded in truth, your emotions lose the power to control you. When your mind is trained, no external situation can easily shake your peace. You become consistent in a world of inconsistency, firm in the face of storms, and focused while others are distracted. The battle within becomes the birthplace of strength, wisdom, and destiny. Emotions are a natural part of being human, yet they were never meant to control the direction of your life. They were given to you as signals, as indicators of what is happening within, but not as dictators that determine your destiny. The problem arises when emotions sit in the driver's seat and your mind becomes the passenger. When that happens, your reactions begin to rule over your reason, and your feelings begin to cloud your faith. Emotions can be powerful and persuasive, but they are temporary. They rise and fall like waves, and if you allow them to guide your decisions, you will live a life that constantly shifts with the tides. A wise person learns to feel deeply but act wisely, to listen to emotion but obey truth. When you understand that emotions are indicators, you start to gain mastery over your inner world. You begin to discern what you feel without becoming what you feel. Every emotion you experience has a message behind it. Anger might reveal a boundary that's been crossed. Sadness may show you something you valued that was lost. Fear might expose a place where your faith needs to grow. But when you let these emotions lead, they can distort your vision and cause you to lose your sense of direction. Emotions are meant to inform, not instruct. When they instruct, they can mislead you because they are reactive by nature. They respond to the moment, not to the mission. The mission of your life requires stability, focus, and clarity, and those qualities only come when your mind is in charge. When the mind leads, emotions follow in alignment with purpose. When emotions lead, the mind becomes clouded and the path becomes uncertain. To master your emotions, you must first create awareness. Recognize that what you feel is valid, but not always accurate. Just because you feel afraid doesn't mean there is danger. Just because you feel rejected doesn't mean you are unloved. Feelings are not facts, they are reflections of your perception. When your perception is shaped by fear, pain, or past experiences, your emotions can misrepresent the truth. That is why a renewed mind is essential. It filters emotion through understanding. You begin to interpret feelings through wisdom instead of impulse. Training yourself to feel without following emotion is a discipline of the mature. It requires stillness, patience, and reflection. When emotions rise, instead of reacting, take a moment to observe. Ask yourself why you feel what you feel and what truth stands behind it. This practice transforms emotion from a master into a messenger. Over time, your emotions begin to serve your purpose rather than sabotage it. You stop living at the mercy of every mood and start living from the stability of conviction. When your mind is stronger than your emotions, you gain power over circumstances. You can experience pain without becoming bitter, disappointment without losing hope, and pressure without losing peace. The strength of a person is not seen in how little they feel but in how wisely they respond to what they feel. A disciplined mind takes every emotion and channels it toward growth, not destruction. A disciplined mind is the foundation upon which true transformation is built. It is the bridge between emotional chaos and spiritual clarity. When your mind is untrained, every situation pulls you in a different direction. You react impulsively, speak prematurely, and make decisions based on how you feel rather than what is right. But when the mind is disciplined, it becomes like a calm river, steady, focused, and controlled even when storms rage above it. Discipline teaches you that you cannot control every circumstance, but you can always control your response. It is through mental discipline that confusion turns into clarity and reactivity becomes wisdom. A disciplined mind does not deny emotion, it simply refuses to be ruled by it. It knows when to speak, when to wait, and when to move. It has the power to pause in the midst of pressure and choose purpose over reaction. When chaos surrounds you, a disciplined mind remains centered. It does not allow external noise to silence inner peace. Many people lose focus because they give their emotions too much power. They spend their energy reacting to what others say or do, rather than maintaining control of their own state. But a disciplined mind understands that power is preserved in self-control. You cannot master your destiny if you cannot master your emotions, and you cannot master your emotions if you do not train your mind. Discipline is not built in moments of ease, it is developed through consistency in times of testing. Every moment you choose to remain calm when you could react, focused when you could drift, patient when you could rush, you strengthen the muscle of discipline. Reaction is easy because it requires no thought, only impulse. But response requires awareness. It requires you to take a step back, breathe, and view the situation through the lens of wisdom. The mind that is disciplined learns to observe before it acts. It weighs the consequences, it discerns the motives, and it chooses from strength, not weakness. When you develop this kind of mental control, you stop being a victim of your emotions and start becoming a leader of them. Life no longer feels like something happening to you, it becomes something you are consciously shaping from within. Clarity emerges when the mind is disciplined because confusion thrives in disorder. When your thoughts are scattered, your emotions become unstable. But when your thoughts are aligned with truth and purpose, your emotions begin to stabilize. You stop being driven by temporary feelings and start being guided by eternal principles. Discipline brings alignment between the mind, body, and spirit. It silences unnecessary noise, filters distractions, and amplifies focus. The more disciplined your mind becomes, the less chaos can control you. You begin to respond from strength rather than weakness, from purpose rather than pressure. In that stillness, decisions become clearer, direction becomes certain, and peace becomes unshakable. Discipline transforms not just what you do but who you are becoming. It turns reaction into response, and it turns storms into teachers. Transformation begins not in what you do but in how you think. Lasting change is never the product of external effort alone, it is born from the renewal of the mind. The thoughts you entertain create the reality you live in. If your mind is filled with doubt, fear, or negativity, your life will reflect that energy in every decision and relationship. But when you discipline yourself to renew your thoughts daily, you begin to shape a new pattern of living. The renewal of the mind is not a one-time event, it is a continual process of aligning your thoughts with truth, peace, and purpose. Each day presents a choice to feed your mind with what strengthens you or what drains you. The discipline of transformation requires intentionality. It means choosing to meditate on what uplifts and to reject what diminishes your spirit. The mind is like fertile soil, whatever you plant will eventually grow. If you sow thoughts of anxiety, anger, or fear, you will harvest a life filled with turmoil. But if you sow thoughts of faith, peace, and gratitude, you will produce stability and strength even in times of uncertainty. Renewing your mind means taking control of what you allow to take root in your inner world. It means identifying patterns that no longer serve your purpose and replacing them with beliefs that align with your destiny. You cannot expect transformation if you continue to think the same thoughts that created your limitations. A renewed mind is one that chooses possibility over doubt, focus over distraction, and truth over emotion. Daily discipline is the key that unlocks this renewal. It is in the small, consistent choices that transformation takes shape. Each time you challenge a negative thought and replace it with a positive one, you are rewiring your mental pathways. Each time you choose faith when fear tries to invade, you strengthen your inner resilience. Renewal happens not through intensity but through consistency. It is a slow reshaping of perception, a quiet rewiring of identity. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. There is power in meditation, the act of focusing your mind intentionally on what is true, pure, and empowering. It trains your brain to align with higher consciousness rather than temporary emotion. Meditation allows you to separate yourself from impulsive feelings and observe them without judgment. Through this stillness, you begin to see life from a place of clarity rather than confusion. The more you meditate on truth, the less influence falsehood has over you. The more you train your focus on gratitude, the less power negativity holds in your heart. Transformation is the byproduct of focus. What you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on what's missing, you live in lack. If you focus on what's possible, you live in purpose. Renewing your mind means deciding daily what kind of world you will create from within. It means taking back control of your attention and guarding it as the gateway to your future. The mind that is renewed cannot be easily shaken because it no longer reacts. It responds from a place of inner strength and divine awareness. Emotional maturity is not about suppressing feelings or pretending that pain doesn't exist. It is about mastering your emotions so that they no longer dictate your behavior. It is the art of feeling deeply while staying grounded in truth. Many people believe that strength means avoiding emotion, but true strength is being able to stand firm in the midst of emotional storms without losing clarity. Maturity means you can experience anger without acting out in destruction, feel fear without allowing it to paralyze you, and experience sadness without letting it rob you of hope. The goal is not to eliminate emotion but to elevate your response to it. Every feeling carries energy, and that energy can either build your future or break your focus depending on how you channel it. Emotional maturity teaches you how to convert that energy into wisdom, patience, and understanding. When emotions are ungoverned, they become like wildfires, consuming everything in their path. They destroy relationships, cloud judgment, and keep you trapped in cycles of reaction. But when emotions are guided by a disciplined mind, they become light-controlled flames, powerful, purposeful, and productive. The emotionally mature person knows how to pause before responding. They understand that not every feeling deserves expression and not every thought deserves attention. They have learned to sit in discomfort without running from it, to observe their pain without being defined by it. This level of mastery requires self-awareness, reflection, and the humility to grow through what you feel rather than escape from it. Emotional maturity is built through practice. It is developed each time you choose patience over impulse, understanding over judgment, and forgiveness over resentment. Every conflict becomes a classroom, every challenge an opportunity to rise above reaction. You begin to notice patterns, what triggers you, what drains you, what brings you peace, and you start managing your inner world with wisdom. This is the point where growth happens, because you no longer let temporary feelings destroy permanent connections. You no longer give your emotions permission to speak louder than your purpose. The mature mind knows that emotions are temporary guests, not permanent residents. They come to visit, to reveal, to teach, and then they pass. But when you attach your identity to how you feel, you end up building your life around shifting moods instead of solid principles. Emotional maturity separates identity from experience. It says, I am feeling angry, instead of, I am an angry person. It gives you the power to process without personalizing, to release without repressing. This is what allows inner peace to grow even in times of turbulence. The more you practice maturity, the less external chaos can shake you. You begin to understand that peace is not the absence of emotion but the presence of balance. You still feel everything, but you are no longer controlled by anything. You carry calm in your spirit even when the world around you is loud. You move from reacting impulsively to responding intentionally, from carrying wounds to creating wisdom, from being led by emotion to being led by vision. Vision must always lead the way, not emotion. When your emotions take the lead, you become reactive, inconsistent, and easily swayed by temporary circumstances. But when your vision guides your steps, you live from purpose rather than pressure. Vision gives direction when emotions give confusion. It reminds you who you are when feelings try to make you forget. Your emotions respond to what's happening now, but your vision speaks to what's coming next. That's why you must train your mind to stay fixed on your vision even when your emotions are screaming for attention. The person of purpose learns to see beyond what they feel. They understand that emotions can change by the hour, but vision endures through seasons. Training your mind to serve your vision requires focus. It means choosing long-term purpose over short-term comfort. Your emotions will tell you to quit when the journey gets difficult, but vision will whisper, keep going. Emotions will make you dwell on what's lost, but vision reminds you of what's still possible. When vision leads, emotions begin to align with it instead of fighting against it. The reason many people lose momentum in life is because they allow emotions to redefine what vision already declared. They let disappointment turn into disbelief and pain into paralysis. But those who have trained their minds to stay focused on vision see challenges as part of the process. They feel the emotion but refuse to lose the direction. Your vision is the compass of your destiny. It points you toward who you are becoming, not just what you are feeling. When you wake up each day with a clear vision, your emotions find structure within that clarity. You stop wasting energy reacting to distractions because you know where you're going. Vision gives you the ability to rise above the moment and see the bigger picture. Even when emotions fluctuate, the vision keeps you steady. You might feel frustrated, tired, or discouraged, but when vision leads, you don't stop moving forward. Training your mind for this level of focus means feeding it with reminders of your purpose. You must surround yourself with words, images, and thoughts that align with your vision. When negative emotions try to take over, your mind must be strong enough to recall what truly matters. Discipline becomes your shield against emotional instability. It's not that emotions disappear, it's that they no longer drive your decisions. You learn to acknowledge them, process them, and then return to your path. Purpose-driven people understand that emotions are like weather, they change constantly, but vision is like the horizon, always present no matter the storm. When your eyes are fixed on that horizon, the temporary storms lose their ability to distract you. Vision doesn't eliminate emotion, but it anchors it. It turns chaos into clarity and confusion into calm. The more you strengthen your vision, the quieter your emotional storms become because your mind learns that no matter how you feel, the mission remains the same.